We will start with the Seattle Seahawks at San Francisco 49ers.
Right. So obviously, for some of these, I think the pick of the winner is pretty obvious. It's just more the score and around how I think the game will go down. I think the Niners win the game, obviously. And you guys know me. I'm hoping for a close game as much as possible. I like competitive, interesting games. I think Seattle might be able to keep it close for a while and then ultimately falter. We'll see how Purdy plays in the playoffs. We'll see. These teams obviously know each other really well. I probably said earlier in the week, but the chance for the Seahawks, look, in any game, okay, the chance is turnovers and blah, blah, blah. But that notwithstanding, the chance for the Seahawks in this game is Geno is just on fire and Geno is able to make some big plays to DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. I mean, that's where we're at with this thing, right? That is the chance for the Seahawks to win. I just don't see it happening. I think there's too much pressure. I don't mean playing in a playoff game. I mean like Nick Bosa. Too much pressure on Geno Smith to be able to get this done. Feels like it's been a nice ride for the Seahawks, but that it ends here. I'll take the Niners. I think it's like 27-17. 27-17, 30-17, something like that. I think that the Niners probably get a late score to win by 2 scores and to put this thing to bed.
Los Angeles Chargers are at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's interesting because we talk about this on the Even Money Betting podcast, which is extremely popular, by the way. But the line has moved in the Chargers' direction, meaning more and more people think the Chargers are going to win the game. I agree with them. Just for, so I took the Chargers on the Even Money podcast when they were laying 1 point. They're now laying 2.5 points. That's pretty significant. 1.5 without any real injury news is pretty significant. I like the Chargers in this game. Number one, it's hard to beat a team twice like that, and the Jags kind of smoked the Chargers earlier in the year. Number two, you guys know I'm usually pretty decent at this, and it manifests itself with me being up 39 units on the Even Money podcast. It just feels like a letdown spot for the Jags. It just feels like last Saturday was their Super Bowl and they got it done, and kudos to them. That was amazing. But I just don't know that they're going to be able to get back to that point. And not that they're just happy to be here, but on some level, they're satisfied. Whereas I don't get that sense from the Chargers at all. The Chargers have been building up for this playoff berth. They've been building up to be able to win a playoff game. I think Herbert's better than Lawrence right now. I think the Chargers receivers are better, provided Mike Williams can play. I think they're a little more battle tested in big games. I don't like the travel. I don't like the travel for the Chargers. I don't like that Brandon Staley played the guys last week, but I think they pick it up for him. I think they get it done. Sneeze. You like that I called it out?
You like broadcast, so you're like,
Well, I don't know. I mean, whatever. This is live broadcasting, right? Like you're gonna sneeze sometimes. I just wanted to let you guys know what was about to happen. Um, I'll take I think it's like a shootout, though. I think this game is awesome. I think it's 31-28, Chargers 30-27, something like that.
next game is game that you'll be at, where the Buffalo Bills are home against the Miami Dolphins.
Home. As always, you guys know I love if you're in your car driving around Sunday between 1 and 4. I love if you listen a little bit, record a little video or whatever, even just take a picture of the screen. in your car and tweet it at me at Ross Tucker NFL. I don't know why. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good that like some of the podcast listeners go out of their way to listen to the broadcast. By the way, this is the first year. All of the Westwood One broadcasts now are streamable. So you can like be in your house watching. You didn't used to be able to stream them. This is the first year. It used to be radio only. This is the first year you can stream the broadcast. So you can be in your house watching the game and then be streaming me on your laptop, which is kind of cool. I like the Bills. It's still looking like Skylar Thompson will be the starter for the Dolphins. You know, I kind of thought earlier in the week there was a small chance for Tua, bigger chance for Bridgewater, smaller chance for Skylar Thompson. This must be a really bad pinky injury for Bridgewater. I know it's his throwing hand, but it's kind of hoping he'd be able to give it a go. I think the Bills are going to sleepwalk through this one. I don't think the Bills are going to come out firing on all cylinders. I think it's just a weird situation with they had such a powder keg of emotion last week with the Hamlin stuff. And then this week, it's kind of like the come down from that. And they're going against Skylar Thompson. It's not Tua. I don't think it's going to be a pretty game for the Bills. I think it's going to be like 20-10, 23-10, 23-13, something like that. They're probably obviously the best survivor pick, them or the Niners, if you have to do or the Bengals, I guess, if you have to do a survivor pick this week. We can make it the Bills just because I know some of you like hearing that sounder. But I don't think it's a blowout for the Bills. I think it's a lower scoring game that the Bills, take care of business still, but not a blowout.
We locking them up then?
Yeah, lock them up.
Your survivor / knockout / whatever you call it, pick of the week.
All right, we'll move forward to the New York Giants, who are at the Minnesota Vikings.
You know what else you should lock up, Jack? Lock up a free 30-day home trial with Peloton. You can try Peloton risk-free with a 30-day home trial. It's new members only, not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial. Listen, it's a Finish Strong Friday. You guys know how I feel about you. I care about all of you. I just want people to live the best lives they can. Working out is a big part of that. It's your overall wellness. It's your self-confidence. It's stress relief. It's getting the endorphins going in the morning. It's a lot of awesome things. So you don't have to be some crazy athlete, and you don't have to, do some wild classes. You can do a 10-minute power walk. You can do a yoga. The instructors are awesome. These classes are on demand, which is the way this always should have been, by the way. They've got music that is whatever you're in the mood for. I'm a big fan. onepeloton.com/home-trial. Big fan of Peloton. Big fan of you. Let's combine the two. onepeloton.com/home-trial. As for the game, Jack, going back and forth on this one. I really think there's a decent chance the Giants win the game. I really do. And if you listen to the Even Money podcast, you know that. However, I also kind of feel like the Vikings have been so good in one-score games, and they're playing at home. I'm going to take the Vikings. I don't know that I feel great about it. I thought long and hard about letting the doggies out. But remember, I always make these picks based on what, like, if you guys are in some league where you're making the picks for money, you're hearing what I really think. So I really think this is a awesome game. I'm going to go 23-20 Vikings, but truly a toss-up. I guess I'm wimping out a little bit on the underdog, but I'm just going by what I think is going to happen. 23-20, Vikings win a close one. Again.
We will move forward to the Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals.
What a bummer. We talked about it earlier. I mean, this just has the potential to be an awesome game. If Lamar was back, feels like it could be an awesome game. But he's not. And I don't think it's going to be. Strange that they just played him last week. Very strange. But that's the way it is. I almost feel like there should be a rule that can't happen, that you can't play somebody 2 weeks in a row with the seeding or even like a divisional opponent. I mean, there's no way to do that, but I don't love first-round matchups of divisional opponents, and I don't love rematches from the week before. It's just a little strange. I hope the Ravens can keep this one closer. I actually think they will. I think the Ravens will be able to keep this one closer than last week. Their defense is really good, and they're getting Andrews back and J.K. Dobbins. I think Tyler Huntley will play. So I think this game's more like 20-16, 23-16, as the Ravens try to like Mike Vrabel it, muddy up the waters to get a win. Still doesn't happen, but I think they're going to be able to make it competitive for us. Let's go 23-16, final answer.
We will wrap up our picks with the Dallas Cowboys at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So I like I'm going to go Cowboys. This is very similar for me to that Giants-Vikings game. I'm going to go Cowboys because they're just a more talented team. They've been the better team all year. And I kind of agree with Greg Cosell that I don't think Dak's going to play poorly 2 weeks in a row. And so I think the Cowboys get this done. Can you imagine, though, if they don't get any playoff wins and they lose this one to the losing record Bucks? I mean, that would be bad. That would be real, real bad. I'm going to say the Cowboys get it done. How about 24-20 Cowboys, I think. But this is another one like the Vikings-Giants that I could really, really see going either way. I'll go 24-20 Cowboys. So no underdogs from me this week. Not letting the doggies out once. Interesting.